I made a top 5 list of my favorite movies of 2022 that did not receive an Oscar nomination whatsoever. So it doesn't matter if like any of the categories we listed before, director, any of the acting categories, the writing. I decided to make a list of movies that did not receive a single nomination and rank them based on what I loved this year. So that takes out like movies. One of my favorites from last year. I'll tell you, it is my favorite. The Batman, for example, doesn't get nominated for any acting categories. Doesn't get nominated for Best Picture, Best Director. Doesn't even get like cinematography, score. But but it does get right costume design, for example, makeup, and hair. I believe it was actually. Um, so I decided to like just take movies that did not appear anywhere on these nominations and make a top 5. Are you ready to hear my top 5, Ricky Flex?
Yeah, I think I can make a quick one, like
Okay.
really quickly.
So as I storm through my 5, I'll let you like think about yours. Number 5, I got The Woman King, now streaming on Netflix. Uh, wasn't spectacular. I'm very glad this was not nominated for Best Picture. I feel like this movie would have been better if it was rated R. Actually, I felt like it really held back on some of the gory aspects, and I feel like that was a way they can kind of emphasize like the physical performance of one Viola Davis. I felt like there was a lot of cut scenes with Viola here. This movie's been getting a lot of backlash. I think it kind of costed itself an Academy Award, any Academy Award consideration with like the way it handled like the actual source material and the historical context. A lot of the stuff was accurate. As a World Civ 1 teacher, the way they attack like the Atlantic slave trade, interactions with the Europeans, like the actions from the African kingdom, right, and its interactions with people from the Americas and the Europeans themselves. I thought it was all pretty accurate. Okay. I don't care as much about like the historical inaccuracies that people make a big deal about. It's more about like, it wasn't all about Viola Davis like I expected it to be. I thought she was really good in it, but I don't think she should get the props that people are like lauding her with. Number 4, I had The Menu. I like The Menu a lot. We talked about it a bunch of times. I thought it was great satire, and it's a great critique on the way that we attack in the way we criticize food, films, or music, other categories. I think it was just a really telling movie of the time period we live in. I thought Ray Fiennes was also excellent in that movie. Highly recommend it. Now streaming on HBO Max. Number 3, I had The Northman from Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers, you might know him from The Witch. You might know him from The Lighthouse. An electric director, young director who loves period pieces. Alexander Skarsgård gives arguably the best physical performance of the year. A lot of people talk about Viola Davis. I will combat you with Alexander Skarsgård, who seemed like he arrived with The Northman and seems like he's doing some really exciting stuff beyond that, heading into the season, the finale, right? The finale of Succession. And 2, I have Barbarian. Barbarian is the sleeper horror hit of the year back in 2022, the streaming hit of the year, the theatrical, like surprise theatrical hit as well. The first 2 acts of that movie is up there with some of the best I saw all of 2022. Third act sort of falls apart, but once again, Skarsgård, the other Skarsgård here, we got Bill Skarsgård, more known for the horror appeal with Pennywise the Clown. Him in that first act, I thought was stupendous. And then Justin Long with the tempo change, the comedic timing, the humor that was involved with that movie. It was changing on a pivot, right? On a dime, it was able to kind of adjust the tones, but also keep you like on the edge of your seat. It really had you just saying WTF as you were watching it. I love those type of film experiences. And that kind of plays into my number 1 movie of the year that did not receive a single Oscar nomination. Jordan Peele's Nope, a a um a experience that I think it was, other than the Batman, my favorite movie experience in the theater of the year. Uh, the visuals were otherworldly. I know some of the stuff people have issues with, like where the story went and some of the themes that were being displayed, and then also like some question marks on decisions made from Jordan Peele. But I will say, Kiki Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya held the screen mighty fine. Stephen Yeun, great supporting appearance there, and really sealed the deal with the third act. And I'm gonna say Nope is my favorite movie of the year that did not receive a single Oscar nomination. What do you think of my list, Ricky?
I like it. I would have a very similar list. Um, so you're doing just not a single Oscar nom. Didn't get
Yeah,
one.
so no recognition whatsoever. And I will say, I need to preface this. I should have prefaced it, I should say, with the idea I never saw X or Pearl this year. Two of the most popular A24 movies of the year. And I feel like if I saw Pearl, and I would like it a lot. And it does scare me shitless, to be honest. Like when I see like the moments on Twitter with the Mia Goth just staring at me at 3 o'clock in the morning, not so laughing but crying and staring right through me as if I'm as if I'm a ghost. I feel like I would have enjoyed that performance a lot and would have cracked the top five. Wasn't that confident in the Woman King. I saw it only this week, but I put it on there anyway just because I didn't want to put Hustle on there. I didn't love Hustle with Adam Sandler. Massive Talent with Nick Cage. Like it's a good premise, but once again, it ventures on the side of absurdity. I think the five I'm pretty confident with.
Yeah, I want to say like I have a pretty similar list. I agree with your hustle comment. The Woman King wouldn't make my list, but I agree with all your commentary there. Barbarian definitely in my top five. X, Pearl, I'm counting those as one. Easily in my top five. I think that and Barbarian very similar. Mia Goth is literally insane. I need to see Infinity Pool. I heard it's amazing. Or I heard it's very good with Skarsgård, Cronenberg,
It
his
scares me.
son.
Posters
I'm
scare me.
I will be watching that. I think it's on Hulu right now.
Crimes of the
Nope.
Future. Also, I didn't see this year.
Right. Dad Cronenberg. Didn't see that one. Nope would also be in my top five. So I got Nope, Barbarian, X/Pearl, The Menu, definitely. The ending didn't strike it for me. But I think overall, just the premise itself, awesome. And then honestly, it's a battle because Knives Out 2 got recognized, screenplay nod there, so not
That's
counting that.
adapted.
Um, so honestly, it's between The Northman and Bones and All, and I would pick The Northman over that. So, but I just want to shout out Bones and All. That was actually a good movie. Did not do well at the box office at all, but that was good. A couple other honorable mentions would be Ambulance. Got to shout out Jake G,
Oh yeah,
Yahya,
that's
Michael
up
Bay.
there. Maybe I should
And
have put that instead of the Woman King. I forgot about that one.
Prey. Remember Prey? That was pretty
Yes,
good.
but I do feel like people overrated Prey.
I
I do.
agree, but I'm just saying, like non-Oscar. I'm
It
just
was a nice
thinking here.
surprise.
Chip and Dale, awesome, fun animated movie. Uh, Emily the Criminal, Aubrey Plaza on Netflix. That's really good, but again, the ending doesn't really hit it for me. And then finally, Long Halloween on HBO Max, parts one and two came out this year.
Did
Can't
it
forget
really? Oh,
that.
it must have been the beginning of last year.
But yeah,
Um,
or part two came out this year. But either way, that was an awesome Batman. Watching that on HBO Max, highly recommend.
and I will say the Northman. I think it sucks because I think if the Northman came out in like November, I think it would have had a shot, especially with an Oscar. I don't want to say favorite, but someone that they seem to enjoy, right? With Robert Eggers, and I would like to see like Alexander Skarsgård get a little more shine for the performance he had in that movie. And it was just a badass movie, and it was strong performances all around. I thought Nicole Kidman in the second and third act of that movie really turned it on. It reminded people like why she is such a lauded actress. Ethan Hawke in the beginning, amazing. Willem Dafoe, creepy as always. It just seemed like it hit on all cylinders. It just was, I think it was a tad slow for some people, and it was just a tick off. It's a little bit weird. You kind of have to buy in a little bit with all the Norse mythology there, but it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. I believe it's still streaming on Peacock or it's on Prime right now. It's one or the other. I do know it is streaming.